Hey everyone, Val here, and it's time to do some cooking. So I have the family cookbook, as you know. My daughter and I are going to do some challenges together where I'm going to make the recipe as it's called for in the family cookbook with the ingredients that I have, and she's going to try to make a keto version of the same recipe. So let me tell you about the recipe that I'm going to be doing tonight, and we're going to try it out. This recipe is put in the cookbook by my sister Patty, and I remember she used to make these all the time. I don't know if she still does, but it's something that I've never made before. So I thought that I would try it for the first time tonight, and my daughter is going to do the keto version of it. So we are going to be making cabbage rolls, okay? And I like cabbage, and I like all the ingredients in it. Just never made it before, so let's give it a try and see what happens. Let me tell you about the ingredients. I have a large cabbage here, and I'm going to be using some of the larger leaves off the cabbage, and we're going to cook those down and use those to roll the ingredients up in. We have a pound of ground beef. This is a little bit more than a pound of ground beef, but we're going to use all of that. A cup of cooked rice. I have some cooked rice that was left over from last night's meal, so I made extra so that we're going to use some of this, at least a cup of that. We may put just a little bit more in. 1 egg. Got an egg here. Half a cup or a quarter cup of milk. That's still in the refrigerator. I've got to get it out. It's calling for 1/3 cup of chopped onion. That's in here. I put my egg beside it there so it wouldn't roll around. 1/2 teaspoon of salt. My salt is over on the stove, and it's calling for a 1/4 teaspoon of pepper. It's calling for a teaspoon of garlic, and I have some minced garlic here. Not fresh, but that's what I have, so I'm going to use it. It's calling for 1 8-ounce can of tomato sauce, and also a jar of pasta or spaghetti sauce. I'm going to use a can of Hunt's. This is 1 pound, 1 8-ounce. So I'm going to be using this. This is roasted garlic and onion. I do have homemade, but I have this. It's been in my cupboard for a while. I bought that before we had our homemade stuff done. So I'm going to go ahead and use this up in this recipe. And we have some Italian seasoning. It's calling for a 1/4 teaspoon of Italian seasoning. So these are our ingredients. Let's go over to the stove and let's put this thing together, shall we? In this pan we have water boiling, and that's going to be for my cabbage. And it's saying, I think it said 8 cabbage leaves, 8 large cabbage leaves. I know the first couple leaves I'm just going to take off. This is not a huge cabbage. This is a smaller cabbage, but I still think it's going to be fine. Like I said, I've never made this before, so we're going to try this out and see what happens. I'll try to get these leaves off it without breaking them. It's saying to cook these in the boiling water until they're soft, about 5 to 10 minutes. I'm gonna bring my cookbook over here. So let's see if I can get the leaf off. That's not coming off very good. It wants to rip. I don't think that one's going to work. Now, if anybody has done this before and knows an easier way, please let me know. There's no way to get these cabbage leaves off without ripping them. Let me try something else. So I'm going to try to core the cabbage and see if the leaves will come off better. And yes, it seems like it will. So we got one. Damn it. Okay. While the cabbage is cooking, we're going to go ahead and saute up our ground beef. So I'm just going to, and my onions and garlic, just going to spray a little bit of the cooking oil in there. That's a extra virgin olive oil. And I have my hamburger and my onions and my garlic. Let me get my garlic over here. And it says to brown the meat in the skillet, remove from heat, add the ice, the eggs, the onion, the garlic, the salt, tomato sauce, and mix well. I'm going to go ahead and saute the onions first to get those cooked up a little bit. I'm going to just alter the recipe just a little bit because I know that it's going to be better with them cooked up. So I've got the onions and I've got a teaspoon of garlic. So I'm going to throw a teaspoon of garlic in there. And let's go ahead and start sauteing that up. I have put my heat on medium heat here because I don't want these to burn. I just want them to caramelize a little bit to get the flavor starting to kick up a notch. Alright, so we'll let that just cook down a little bit. Keep an eye on my cabbage here. I don't want it to overcook. It's looking pretty good. I'm going to turn that down on low. Alright, so they're caramelized. We're going to add our ground beef. Alright, let me cook this down. I have one little secret ingredient I want to throw in there. And that is my Worcestershire sauce. Anytime I cook hamburger, I like to put, and that bottle's almost empty, I'll just put a touch of that in there. Just for a little bit of flavor, and I like the smell. I'm gonna go grab me another bottle. I got one in the pantry so that I'll have my backup bottle ready. But we'll get this cooked down. We'll be right back. Okay, so I've drained my ground beef and I brought the pan over to the counter. So we're gonna put it together. Let me grab my cookbook here. Alright, so it's saying remove from heat, add the rice. So we're gonna do a cup of rice. So I'm not sure, but we'll just put enough in here to equal about a cup, and that's about a cup or so. I like rice. We'll make it a nice healthy cup. This is cooking. You don't have to measure exactly everything. So add the rice and the egg. So we're gonna add one egg, slightly beaten. So we'll beat that up a little bit. There we go, it's slightly beaten. This is my version. All right, it's calling for some milk, so let me grab my milk. And it's calling for a 1/4 cup of milk. So we're gonna dump a 1/4 cup of milk in there. There we go. And it's saying, we have the onions in it, we have this salt and pepper. So I'm just gonna put a pinch of salt in there. We're gonna pinch it with some pepper. All right, it's calling for the garlic we already have, tomato paste, and tomato sauce and Italian seasoning mix well. All right, so we'll put a little bit of the tomato sauce in there because we're going to put the rest on the top of it. So we'll put the tomato sauce and the Italian seasoning. How much Italian seasoning? 1/2 teaspoon of Italian seasoning, and there is some already in it. The spaghetti sauce has Italian seasoning in it, so I don't think it's going to need a whole lot. But we'll add a little bit extra just for good measure. Mix it up. It's almost like Italian rice or something here. That's looking pretty good. What do y'all think? That looks pretty good? Let me move him out of your way. I think that looks pretty good. Alright, so this is a pan I'm going to use. Let me turn you this way just a little bit. This is a pan I'm going to use. I sprayed it with spray pan, and I'm going to put a little bit of the tomato sauce on the bottom so that the egg rolls don't stick. Alright, or the cabbage rolls, I mean. Egg rolls. Alright, so we're going to take a cabbage leaf. I'm going to stuff some of the yumminess into it. You can take a toothpick and put a toothpick in it to hold it. Let me grab my toothpicks here. And then put it in your pan just like so. That turned out pretty nice. Let me grab another cabbage leaf here. Stuff it nicely. Maybe overstuff it here a little bit. Hold it together with a toothpick. Try to find another pretty leaf here. One doesn't want to stay. Oh, there we go. That's good. Some of these leaves broke, but we're still going to use them. And I'm not getting fancy with this. I'm just rolling it the best I can and putting a little toothpick on it. And we're gonna hope for the best, because like I said, I have not made these before. This is my sister's recipe. She's the cabbage roll queen. I wasn't a big fan of cabbage in my younger years. As I've gotten older, I've learned to like it a little bit more. So, it seems like it's working out pretty good. And that's 2, 4, 6. I did cool off the cabbage leaves with some cool water so that they wouldn't burn. I think that's good on that one. I try to get one more out of there. It said to make 8, so I'm making these pretty full. And the ones I'm gonna just lay on the top because my bowl's a little small, I think, but we're gonna make it work. And it's saying to cook it for an hour. I'm gonna put it in there and get it cooking at 350 degrees Fahrenheit and see if it takes an hour or not. It might take an hour. But there you go. There's the 8th little egg roll, or cabbage roll. I keep saying egg roll. So that looks good, just like that. Each one has a little toothpick in it. That's what they're looking like. And then it's saying to cover this with the remaining sauce. Which I am going to do. We're gonna pop it in the oven. It's been an hour, so I just took the cabbage rolls out of the oven, and this is what they look like. They're looking pretty good. Do you want to put one on your plate? It's going to be hot, so we might have to wait a minute to try it, but let's see.
They smell delicious.
See how they come out of the bowl here. This is my first attempt at cabbage roll with my sister's recipe. There's 8 in there, so help yourself. Plenty in there. So how's it looking inside?
Scrumptious. Looks good.
Does look good. Well, the taste will tell. It is hot now. So it was at 350 degrees Fahrenheit for 1 hour is what I cooked it.
Not having much luck there.
Might have to put it on the spoon.
Good.
Is it good?
Yep.
All right, for my first attempt. Not too bad. Okay, so that's the recipe, y'all. Try out this recipe. This is from the family cookbook, Patty's Cabbage Rolls, and check out Ariana Vlogs. I'm going to give a link to her channel in the description box below. She's going to do a keto version. So go and check out the spin she does on this recipe to make it keto. Thank you all for watching. Give us a thumbs up. Subscribe if you're not subscribed and you want to. And we will catch you on the next video. Bye now.